Imagine if that silent anxiety that insists on visiting you early in the morning, even before breakfast, could be soothed with a simple movement of your hands. Have you ever thought about transforming Monday jitters into a light break, almost like that feeling of listening to an old song on the radio when everything seemed to slow down for a few minutes? Today, I'm going to show you how small changes can calm this restlessness that seems to gain strength as the years go by. In this video, you'll discover why anxiety isn't just a young person's thing or a concern for those who are in a hurry. Together, we'll uncover the signals your body sends, like that tightness in your chest or shortness of breath after hearing bad news, and understand how accessible practices, even sitting in a living room chair, can change your relationship with your day. You'll learn how to cultivate tranquility, just like someone who takes care of a fern on their porch, even if the last time they tried to meditate was back in the days of battery-powered radios. Anxiety isn't just a scary name that appears in health magazines. For those over 60, anxiety can be a discreet but persistent companion. Do you know that fear of forgetting your grandchildren's birthday or not being able to sleep after watching the news? Well, anxiety is more present than you might think. And the most curious thing, more than 70% of people over 60 feel these symptoms, often without realizing that their body is crying out for help. That's right, 7 out of 10. Stop for a moment and think, how many times have you become short of breath just at the thought of leaving the house? Take a deep breath now. Feel the air coming in and out, even if only for a few seconds. Our mature mind is like an old garden. It may have deep roots and crooked branches, but with the right care, it continues to flourish. Anxiety in this garden is like that stubborn pest that appears suddenly, but that can be controlled with simple tools. A gentle movement, a conscious pause, a minute with your eyes closed. It doesn't require great juggling or crossing your legs like a yogi on a 6 o'clock soap opera. Have you ever noticed how a smile after a silly joke can lighten the weight of the day? This is the kind of lightness that we are going to learn to cultivate. Anxiety may knock on your door, but you can choose how to receive it. And believe me, even those who have never exercised will be surprised by the power of a small, consistent gesture. For many, anxiety seems like an inconvenient visitor who shows up uninvited, especially when the house is quiet and the clock keeps ticking slowly. But what happens when this visitor doesn't leave? Imagine Alfredo, a 74-year-old man who always enjoyed listening to the radio while drinking coffee. Lately, however, his hands were shaking when he held the cup. The coffee was getting cold, and his chest felt tight, as if there was no air in the room, even with the window open. Alfredo tried to hide it by swapping porcelain for plastic cups, but the discomfort persisted. These days, anxiety felt like a fog that blurred even his favorite childhood songs. He no longer felt like walking in the square or talking at the gate, fearing that someone would notice his restlessness. Small pleasures became big challenges. Have you ever noticed how this feeling can affect even the taste of coffee? The smell, so familiar, no longer brought the same calm. The impact spread throughout his routine: sleepless nights, tiredness when waking up, and that feeling of always being on alert. The body reacted: racing heart, cold hands, shortness of breath. All of this for no apparent reason. But is that all? Recent studies show that around 40% of seniors report that anxiety directly interferes with memory and concentration. Forgetting where they left their glasses or the name of that friendly neighbor became a cause for concern. Sometimes, the mere idea of leaving the house felt like a marathon. Maybe you've heard that anxiety is all in your head, or that you just need to think positive. Really? The body feels it. The symptoms are real. It's not a whim. And if by chance you found yourself laughing when you remembered when you forgot your lunch at school, but now you worry about forgetting when to take your medicine, know that you're not alone. Life changes and, with it, so do your feelings. Pause. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to bring a little lightness back into your days? What if small changes could ease this fog? Alfredo, between one song and another, began to look for answers. After all, is it possible to cultivate a new way of living, even when the leaves are already ripe? Have you ever heard that story that anxiety, after a certain age, is part of life and there is no way around it? This is a very common belief, but it is also very limiting. Believing that anxiety is a mandatory burden of maturity ends up discouraging the search for solutions and reinforces the idea that nothing can be done. Interestingly, research shows that seniors who seek relaxation strategies, such as chair yoga, can significantly reduce anxiety symptoms, improving their sleep and even their mood. Think of an old plant in the garden. Even with deep roots, it can still receive water, light, and even bloom again. In other words, age is not synonymous with resignation. There is always room for new care. Many are surprised to discover that anxiety only manifests itself in the mind, but in fact, it affects the entire body. The technical term for this is psychophysiological response. It means that the psychological and physical are connected, as when emotions affect even the stomach or the heart rate. Imagine an old radio. If one part is interfering, the entire sound is impaired. Likewise, anxiety can affect everything from sleep to the willingness to do simple activities, such as walking or talking. And the good news is that working your body, even with small movements, helps to calm your mind and vice versa. Contrary to popular belief, seeking relief from anxiety is not a sign of weakness or dependence. On the contrary, it is an act of courage and self-care. Some people believe that asking for help or trying something new, such as chair yoga, is admitting defeat. But studies show that people who create small relaxation rituals have more autonomy and quality of life. It's like adjusting the oven timer. A small gesture can prevent the recipe from going wrong. And between you and me, who has never overcooked a cake due to carelessness? Now, I want to know from you. Have you ever felt any of these symptoms, physical or emotional, and thought it was just age? Share your experience in the comments, because your story can help others realize that they are not alone. And if this conversation resonates, take the opportunity to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. That way, more people can find this content. Let's take a break together to take a deep breath. Feel the air coming in and out, like someone caring for a delicate flower. In the next section, I'll show you simple, practical solutions to help you cultivate more calm in your daily life. After all, even a mature garden can surprise you and bloom again. What if you tried to turn your morning routine into a small self-care ritual? When you wake up, before doing anything, try sitting comfortably with both feet flat on the floor and your hands on your thighs. Close your eyes and take a deep breath, counting to 4 on your inhale and then to 4 on your exhale. Imagine that with each breath you take, you are watering the roots of your inner garden, bringing calm and energy to your day. This practice takes less than 3 minutes to implement, and over time, your mind learns to associate the beginning of the day with a sense of control and serenity. Seniors report that after a week of this ritual, their morning jitters subside and their heart seems to beat more smoothly. Here's a tip. Leave a colorful note on your bedside table to remind you of this new habit until it becomes automatic. Many people have found that music can be a powerful ally. Choose a calming song, It could be an instrumental or a favorite from your youth, and listen to it while you make coffee. By focusing on the sound, the brain is distracted from anxious thoughts and anchored in the present. This small musical pleasure helps to relax the shoulders, reduce tension in the neck, and even improve the mood even before the first sip of coffee. To make this experience even more special, create a playlist with 10 favorite songs and vary the selection throughout the week. The benefit? A lighter routine and often a spontaneous smile even on the cloudiest days. During breakfast, how about trying a mini relaxing recipe? Mix half a cup of natural yogurt, a tablespoon of fine rolled oats, and 5 drops of natural vanilla essence. Stir well and add a pinch of cinnamon. This combination not only pleases the palate, but also provides fiber and aromas that help to calm and awaken, preparing the body and mind for the day. That's how Helena, at 68 years old, began to change her routine. Before, her chest felt tight as soon as she woke up and her head was full of worries. By including conscious breathing, soft music, and a new breakfast, she noticed within the first week that her fingers seemed to tremble less and her smile returned in the mirror. She jokes lightly, "It's as if my garden is learning to dance with the breeze." Adapting takes patience, but each new flower deserves to be celebrated. Share in the comments, which simple habit has brought the most color to your inner garden? Another practical solution that many people forget about is using your hands to relieve anxiety. A simple gesture, such as gently massaging your hands with a little scented cream, activates nerve endings that send calming messages to the brain. It's almost like receiving that friendly handshake from the old days, when a simple touch already conveyed security and affection. This practice can be done right after a shower or in those quiet minutes before bed. The important thing is to dedicate this moment to yourself, feeling the texture, smell, and temperature of the cream, letting your worries slip through your fingers. And how about a second mini recipe to bring lightness to your day? Try making chamomile tea with orange zest. Place a spoonful of dried chamomile flowers and some fresh orange zest in a cup. Add hot water, cover, and let it infuse for 5 minutes. Then, strain and enjoy slowly, feeling the citrus aroma and the warmth that warms you from within. This tea, in addition to relaxing, brings back memories of the times when grandmothers would prepare home remedies in the kitchen, mixing care and affection in each cup. In Ernesto's case, he implemented the complete routine. He started the day with conscious breathing, did yoga in the chair after breakfast, massaged his hands in the late afternoon, and started drinking relaxing tea at night. In a few weeks, he noticed that he fell asleep faster, woke up feeling energetic, and even started playing with his grandchildren in the park again. The smile returned to his face and, on a sunny Sunday, he realized that he could feel the wind on his face without that restlessness in his chest. The simple pleasure of walking hand in hand with his wife, laughing at old stories, was a sensory detail that marked his new time. Of course, obstacles arise. Days when laziness gets the better of us, or when we forget to take care of ourselves. In these moments, it is worth remembering the advice we saw on old posters. Don't give up before you try. If necessary, ask for help from a friend, a family member, or even a health professional if the symptoms persist. The benefits of these practices are tangible: improved sleep, more energy, less tension, and more joy in the little things, like listening to music or making a special coffee. Now, I ask you, what memory of care or comfort would you like to relive today? If you liked this content, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and share it with someone who could benefit. This week's challenge is: choose 2 small rituals and practice them every day, writing down how you feel. Soon, we'll have new topics to continue this welcoming dialogue. Breathe deeply, feel life blossoming, and remember, taking care of yourself is the greatest act of courage and tenderness.